Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I can't believe it's December 23rd already.
Why not? Yesterday was the 22nd.
Oh, you mean they go in order again? I don't know. But it's funny. Remember when you were a kid and you heard old people go, oh, the time goes so fast. But oh my goodness, where did 2024 go?
It's because we're not fully conscious all the time. What days just disappear.
Does that mean you nap a lot? Is that what you're talking about? You're not fully conscious.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm still vertical and I'm napping.
Is neighbor dog hitting the booze again, OG?
Sounds like it.
A little bit too much eggnog. A little bit too much party in your eggnog. You know who doesn't have party with their eggnog this time of year? The men and women in our armed forces. Well, they probably do, but not when they're on duty. I would guess they've had an eggnog or two.
Mostly not on duty.
I hope they have eggnog. You know what they're busy doing right now? Figuring out what all these drones are doing. That's what the men and women in the military
They already
are
know.
doing.
They all know.
They got it. We just
thing
can't
that
know.
Happens without the military knowing. Yeah.
We just can't know.
They're all laughing. They're like, look at those
Right.
idiots thinking they're UFOs. Bill, let's not tell them for another week. This is great.
No, Bill, I'm not going to tell them. All right, raise our mugs, because at this time, we always, on Mondays, salute our troops, the men and women keeping us safe. On behalf of the men and women at Navy Federal Credit Union and the men and women making podcast in Mom's Basement, thank you for all you do. Let's go stack some Benjamins together now.
Thanks, everybody.
All get along for Hanukkah, so drink your Jaeger Babaka and smoke your medical Chronica. If you really want to have a
Live from Joe's mom's basement, it's the Stacking Benjamin Show. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and we're rounding out the year to remind you that the best time to think about diet and exercise is right now, before the Chex Mix and candy canes find your pie hole. And to help us focus during this holiday season, we welcome the man behind MetPro, diet and exercise coach extraordinaire, Angelo Poli. Plus, in our headline, what happens when you draw out your will in crayon? Or better yet, make a selfie video. We'll share how to make sure you're covered this holiday season and beyond. But that's not all. We'll answer a call from a stacker who sounds suspiciously like a guy who called this time last year. Stocking up on t-shirts, dude? And of course, you know what I'm putting under your Hanukkah bush? The gift of my incredible trivia. And now, 2 guys who are ready to celebrate 8 crazy nights, and they aren't even Jewish. It's Joe and O-G.
Hey there, stackers. Welcome to the crazy last 9 nights of 2024. Welcome back to the Stacking Benjamin Show. I am Joe Saul-Sehy, and across the card table from me, it is the Mr. OG. How are you, my friend?
I'm here so I don't get fined.
Why?
It's
Doug?
vacation time.
Yes.
I'm not supposed to be doing this anymore.
It's December 23rd. He's done with the year. It's
Time to be
you
over.
got one more show, man. One more show. Let's focus. How was your birthday, by the way?
I don't even remember. It was fine.
Is it ironic at all, Doug, that OG's birthday is on the shortest day of the year? The time of the most darkness is OG's birthday.
Oh my gosh. The day when everybody is
Did
the
this
orneriest.
just dawn on you, Doug? This has not been a known for you for a long time.
No, I didn't.
The
Horoscope.
prince of the winter solstice. OG.
Yeah. I mean, we do get a decent amount of light in Dallas year round. I think the shortest day is still 10 or 11 hours of sun. So it's not like in Michigan where it gets dark at 4.
Oh my goodness! When I was in Seattle, everyone I've been in Seattle in the winter. You come out at 5 o'clock. You're like, is it midnight?
Yeah.
Just imagine you're finishing your work that far north.
3:30.
Yeah.
Sunset's at like 3:30.
It's wild. But by the same token, when I was in Alaska in the middle of summer, it was 11 o'clock. I'm in a grocery store. There's families in there shopping at like 11:15 p.m. because
Little kids in their footy pajamas.
it's like the middle of the
circadian
day.
rhythm thing is pretty legit, right? I mean, in the summertime when you're up north, it's bright at 5:30. It seems pretty easy to get up at 6:15 or 6:30 because you're like, oh, the sun's out. Time to get up and have some coffee, but try to get me out of bed at 6:30, December 23rd. Yeah, that's not happening. It's like, it's still dark. I'm still asleep.
Well, the year does end in a big festival of fun. We got a festival of fun here with Angelo Poli coming down to the basement, but also Christmas, Hanukkah starting at the same time this year, starting on the 25th. Of course, Christmas ends on the 25th, but not for you and IOG. I mean, Christmas for us is a year-round celebration that starts on the 25th. For me, it goes probably about a week. I'd say January 2nd. I'm pretty ready to begin the new year.
I was talking to my mom last week and she said she was still decorating her tree. And I thought, when do you take it down? And we're a late tree taker downer, generally speaking. But I know people that take it down like, it's the 26th. It's time to put all this
Bam.
Oh, wow.
away.
Isn't it common? I thought it was like New Year's Day or like right before you go back to work.
I thought it was around the
We always use
Epiphany.
January 6th. Yeah, we always use Epiphany as the day. January 6th.
We're always a little late too. We'll start taking it down on the 6th and then finish it around March 23rd.
Around St. Patty's Day. Just in time for Easter.
Pretty good. Angelo Poli here as we get into, as Doug so eloquently said, into the Chex Mix, my favorite thing.
Oh, so good. Wait,
nasty.
peanuts or no peanuts in your Chex Mix?
Tons of peanuts.
Yes.
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 Last night at game night, my buddy Troy brought out Chex Mix that his wonderful spouse Christy made, but it was Cajun. She had Cajun seasoning all over the Chex Mix. That made the beer go down pretty darn good, I got to say. Very good.
Just like the Tony Cachere's seasoning sprinkled in there. Like that's all she did.
I don't know what she
did you
did,
call it?
man, but some of the stuff was red.
Hold on. We have to stop.
Did I say it wrong?
Oh, insanely wrong. But let me hear it again, just for the
Joe
record.
knew exactly what I was talking about.
He was letting you slide past it. What was it? What is
Tony.
it?
I called it Tony.
Tony what?
Tony Knuckles. Tony Cachere's.
Did the Prince of Darkness just make it awkward?
Is this the thing that you're going to climb up my skirt about?
Anyway, not to derail this topic, but we got Angelo Poli here because it's time when you dig in. I could not stop eating this stuff last night. And man, I got to not eat it
I want to
because
try it now.
you put on pounds and pounds and pounds. The brownies, the baked goods, the just deliciousness that is this time of year. Great time to remember what the big focus is on. That's why we got Angelo Poli helping us round out the year and kickstart 2025. Not just that, we got a caller who sounds a little familiar. I listened to this and I swear I've heard this guy's voice somewhere before, and much, much more. But first, we have sponsors that make sure this show is free so that you don't have to pay for it, and we get to keep on keeping on for you. So we're going to hear from them. And then Monday Mentor, the great Angelo Poli from MetPro. In business, there is no room for guesswork. Every shipment matters. Every deadline counts. And when you're trying to keep operations running smoothly, The last thing you need is uncertainty. That's why reliability is at the core of USPS Ground Advantage. From the moment your package is first scanned in, it moves through a secure nationwide network, aiding in a timely and accurate delivery. You get near real-time tracking so you can keep up with your shipments. And with affordable upfront pricing, there are no hidden fees or surprise surcharges to throw off your cost sheets. It all adds up to predictable deliveries you can depend on, because knowing your logistics are handled lets you focus on everything else, your customers, your team, and the future you're building. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to start shipping with confidence. USPS Ground Advantage. We mean business. Dell PCs with Intel Inside are built for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. They're for those all-night study sessions, the moment you're working from a cafe and realize every outlet's taken, the times you're deep in your flow and can't be interrupted by an auto update. That's why Dell builds tech that adapts to you. Built with long-lasting batteries so you're not scrambling for an outlet, and built-in intelligence that makes updates around your schedule, not in the middle of it. Find technology built for the way you work at Dell.com/Dell PCs. Built for you. I'm super happy he's here to mentor us in what's going to be, for a lot of people, maybe the toughest 9 days of the year. Angelo Poli's here. How are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Joe. Awesome to be back. Awesome.
Man, for people that want to gain weight, this is an easy week this week.
This is the week. Fill yourself up. If you're on a bulking phase, this is the week for you.
You haven't seen junk calories until you've seen this week's junk calories. Yeah. It is a week when a lot of people gain weight. We thought in this week of celebration, it's good to have somebody like Angelo in our corner going, enjoy it, but let's make sure we come out of this alive. This is a big week, I think, for everybody in the MetPro community, Angelo.
Yeah, this is a week where we do intensive strategizing with each and every one of our clients. We make sure everyone has a strategy and a game plan. We have prepped, planned, and worked around everything we're going to do for this week, and then nobody wants to talk to us next week.
But I got to tell you, just between Jesse, who's my MetPro coach, and the discussions that you and I have had over the years, my friend, like I go into this week really thinking about it, like everybody, I jump off the wagon and put stuff in my mouth that shouldn't be there. And then Jesse does a great job of reminding me the cost of that, which is why I have her in my corner. But let's start with the hardest thing for a lot of people, which is alcohol, because this puts on a lot of poundage.
It's funny. I was literally just training remotely one of my celebrity clients just before seeing you, Joe. And we had this exact conversation. So everybody's wondering about this. And most people are surprised. Now, if you've been around the fitness community for a long time, you may have heard some of these things. But when we are talking let me see how to put this. Buzz to cellulite accumulation comparison chart, buzz to body fat. What is the best approach? Ranking the alcohols. Now, this is not a list of what is best for your liver, what is best for your marriage, relationships, or long-term health. But here is, if you want to indulge in some alcohol and you don't want it to end up stacking on a bunch of pounds, no alcohol helps. It's all bad, but some is really bad. So here's the way it goes. Believe it or not, hard alcohol, particularly clear hard alcohols, are going to be the least impactful, unless you drink so much that you don't know what you're eating. That's a whole different conversation, right? But in moderation, that's going to be the best approach. So that could be on its own on the rocks or mixed with a calorie-free beverage. That's the best category. There's a pretty big drop-off between that and second best. Second best is going to be your wines or your quote-unquote diet alcohols, light beers, things like that. So that's the second category. Then you have your beers. And then the worst of the worst is going to be two categories: your heavy beers, the lagers, the stouts, know what that's doing to you. You can actually hear yourself gaining body fat when you drink those. So those, and here's the one people don't realize. It's the frou-frou drinks are actually the worst of the worst. So the mixed drinks that give you calories from the beverage, added sugars or salt and alcohol, your pina coladas, your, things like that are just, your daiquiris, brutal. You will wake up to an extra pound of you tomorrow. So drink those in moderation and stay the heck away from anything with eggnog. Just don't do it. It's just liquid calories. I know everybody this time of year wants to have some of that because it's the only time of year you can buy it.
Yeah.
So just if you're going to do something like that, really keep it in moderation. Don't make it a beverage, make it a taste.
Well, and the taste really, Angelo, frankly, as I get older, is the fun. Right? The taste is the fun. I also like a couple other pieces of advice you gave. I like the idea of just starting later. See if maybe the first hour of the party, you'll just have fun or whatever the thing is that you're going to do. Instead of starting drinking at 5 p.m., start at 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's it. That's actually great advice. Those are kind of the micro strategies. I'll give you a few micro strategies, but let me talk about the macro first, right? So if we zoom out.
Yeah.
The mindset. I find the bigger issue is mindset. We go into the back half of the year with this is different. This is a radically different scenario from all the rest of the time of the year for some people. And I would challenge you that it's not necessarily the case to the degree that people often put themselves in that mindset. The reality is, there is nothing you're going to do on any particular day, holiday, vacation day, travel day. There's nothing you're going to do that's going to really be all that meaningful. It's one day. The issue is getting out of your routine the rest of the time. So it's not I had a Super Bowl party. It's not, and I ate chips and pizza. Okay, well, I have a Super Bowl party, and guess what? I usually eat some chips and pizza. The difference is it doesn't stay in the house. If it stays in the house, I'm going to eat chips and pizza, just one piece, nuke it in the microwave the next day. And then if there's a couple more, I'm a value guy. I hate throwing food out, right? So I can't let it go to waste. So now I got to have a piece for lunch. And then the next evening, there's the leftover chips and dips. And it's sitting there and let me just polish that. That's the devastating part. I have people ask me all the time, it's like, well, Angelo, we're going to work together. I know what you and your company do. I've seen the transformations. I'm ready to go. But I think we should start next month because I have this event coming up on this Sunday and I know I'm going to not eat right. And I just laugh. We say, okay, you have to forgive me. But I'm sitting here after doing this with thousands and thousands of people. And if I thought you were only going to not eat right this Sunday, the reality is you're going to not eat right 2 days a week for the next 5 years. So this Sunday is not special, pal. We're starting today because I don't care about those special occasions. You should be able to indulge. Now, if somebody's training for a competition or a specific date or an event, that's different. But as a general rule, I want my clients to indulge in good food and drink on occasion. Where I drop the hammer is the areas where I know it's going to cause them to backslide. And here's what it is. It's mid-December. Nothing's going on. We're not with friends or family. We're at work. It's a Tuesday. It's the middle of the afternoon. You're returning an email for the boss, but you're getting into the stale candies that are out everywhere because of the time of year. That's a mindset thing. Nail your meal plan, nail your strategy, eat clean, treat your body well, have an approach that's going to drive results. And then, you know what? When you do have a social occasion, yes, we have to admit this time of year, there are going to be more occasions to indulge, granted, but it shouldn't be okay, I'll be back to my routine in 2 weeks. That's what destroys people. It's the checking out for 2 weeks. It should be check out for a meal here, a meal there, but don't let your overall nutritional value system fall off. That's the macro strategy that I encourage my clients to take during this time of year.
What's funny is for our financial community too, Angelo. I mean, it really is the same, right? You're like, hey, I'm going to follow the budget every other day, but this day I'm going to go into Best Buy and light it up. Like, this is going to be great. And you laugh at that. And I know our audience is laughing at that, but truly it's the same thing. If you destroy it today, think about what that does to your bank account a week from now.
Well, my financial strategy is just everything on, red 7, right? That's what you do.
Yeah,
You take your life
perfect.
savings.
That's right.
I mean, that's what we're supposed to do, right?
That's right.
But I mean, it's the season for doing that, right?
It's the same thing as I'll starve myself one day, hopefully, if I, yeah,
Oh,
not good.
some micro strategies you were kind of alluding to is, start a little later. So here's something that organically people tend to fall into, which is, I know I'm going to XYZ and I know I'm going to eat bad, so let me not eat now. You want to check your math on that. That usually does not work out in your favor. Usually what that means is you show up so ravenous that you can polish off exponentially more calories than had you also eaten something healthy and clean preceding that event. Now, if you're going to say, well, I'm going to have pizza tonight, so I won't eat pizza for lunch, that's probably a good equation. But if you're going, I'm going to eat pizza tonight, so I'm going to skip my lunch of lean proteins and veggies and some low glycemic complex carbs, that's not a winning mathematical equation for you. Eat twice, but eat well. I'd rather you eat your normal clean foods. Don't go to those events ravenous. It is incredible what will happen to your appetite when your blood sugar gets low. And then what's the first thing you do? You walk through the door, you grab a cocktail. Now it's open season. I'm speaking from personal experience. Sure. How I feel. I go somewhere on an empty stomach. I have a couple sips of something. I got an appetite that won't quit. I can kill it. Whereas if I had even a light dinner, try having a light, salad with a couple pieces of chicken on it. You'll still have plenty of appetite when you get to your events, but you're not going to walk in ravenous. That'll make a huge difference.
It's funny that you mentioned this right now because I had this in my life last week. So after my dad died, which a lot of our fans know happened earlier this year, during that time, I gained 10 pounds. I was, self-medicating, comfort food, just eating stuff, apologizing to my MetPro coach, Jesse, the entire time. By the way, I think I probably would have gained 20 if Jesse wasn't there. And super understanding. But Jesse also helped me as of this last week get that 10 pounds back off. So it is now back off. And now I'm headed back in the right direction, feeling really good going into this last week of the year. And really for me, I love this interview too, that I get to talk to you because I personally want to have this momentum in the new year and I don't want to drop the ball this last week of the year. But last week I was at an event, Angelo, and I could hear you and Jesse in my head. And I did exactly that. I ate before the event. And in fact, it's funny because I have followed through on that so irregularly over the time that I've worked with your company that Cheryl, my spouse, walks in. She goes, "We're going over to Rick and Stella's. Why are you eating?" I'm like, because I know what Stella eats and I love it. And I love it. It's so good. And I got to say, I sampled Stella's food. It was really good, but I had a much smaller plate. I didn't go back for seconds. And the next day I had maintained. I got on the scale and I maintained, which for me, on a day like that, where normally I would have lost, that was just fighting the battle to live another day and came through in flying colors in the next day. And by the way, because I also didn't drink a ton, I also was able to do my normal workout, which if I drank a ton, I would have skipped the workout the next day. Like this whole follow through thing you're talking about is huge. So love that advice.
I want to emphasize just the psychological of reality versus biologically and statistically, even what is the most relevant pieces in your habits and routine. We tend to put too much emphasis on the one-offs and not enough emphasis on all the rest. So what most people don't realize is if you eat 3 meals a day and a couple snacks, which is actually about typical, even for people not on a regiment. A lot of people grab something in the morning, something at lunch, dinner. And then if you think back, oh yeah, I had a bite here. This was a snack. And then before I went to bed, people eat about 5 times a day on average. Just taking that as a round number, that's 35 meals a week. People will fixate on the 1 or 2. Yeah, I did this, I did that at that 1 or 2 meals. Okay, let's turn that into not being an absolute train wreck and just make it a modest meal where you indulge, but don't go overboard. I'm interested in the other 33 meals you're eating that week. And that's where it really does come back to. So When we work with someone, the first thing we need to know is which strategy is going to work. Because if you go into the Google and, hey, how do I lose weight? You're going to get literally 10,000 opinions. Literally. I'm not being dramatic here. There are 10,000 opinions out there. All of them have some level of relevancy, but very few of them are relevant to you. So stop guessing. What you want to have is a strategy where if you're going to put in the work, you want to know that you're going to get return on your investment. That's what this audience is about, right? We want to see a return on our investment, not guessing. So is keto or low carb restriction the right strategy? Is calorie restriction the right strategy? Is intermittent fasting the right strategy? Is meal timing and pairing the right strategy? These are all relevant. They are not all created equal, and they all depend on where your metabolic rate is today. If we know where your metabolic rate is today, and where your baseline is, we know which of those levers or which combination of those levers are going to get you the results. And then we're going to lean in. We're going to roll up our sleeves. We're going to say, this is what I'm doing. It's Tuesday. I don't have any special events. I have a game plan. We're going to follow it. Then when you get to Saturday nights, we're going to go in. We're not going to be starving. We're not going to overindulge, but you're not going to be stressed out. You're going to be able to enjoy yourself. And the next day, you're going to be right back into your strategy. That's how you make sustainable progress.
35 meals versus one.
35 versus one.
Yeah, I'm thinking 35. I'm not thinking one. I love that. When you talk about metabolism, I mean, obviously your company's called MetPro, right? So we talk about metabolism. Let's dive into metabolism for a lot of our stackers, because while they might know what an exchange traded fund is, they probably don't know how metabolism works. I'm at an age of 56 years old. I can definitely feel my metabolism slowing down just generally, like for a lot of people as they age.
Yeah.
Can we engineer our metabolism though? Can we speed it up? Can we slow it down? Can we change the metabolism that we have to maybe get different results?
I'm glad you asked that. So this is one of those just persistent topics where most people are educated on this topic by Hollywood, by marketing, and by TikTok and influencers. We hear this term thrown around. My metabolism is fast. My metabolism is good. This food is good for your metabolism. Generally speaking, these are not researchers who actually understand what the metabolism does. And when I say metabolism, I'm not talking about metabolic markers having to do with like blood work and hormones and insulin levels. That is a term relating to that. I'm talking about metabolism, how most people think of it. Do I have a fast metabolism or a slow metabolism that's stubborn? Here's how your metabolism works. Your metabolism has one job, and that is to keep your body in homeostasis. Full stop. That's its job. It will adjust your energy output. It will adjust your hormonal systems. It will adjust your energetic pathways, literally switch you between what energetic substrate you're dominantly burning, sugars, fats, etc. It will increase or decrease hormones, leptin, ghrelin, to increase, decrease appetite. It will even alter on a cellular level, mitochondria, even your hypothalamus adjusts, all in tandem to keep you in homeostasis, which is why, by the way, there is no silver bullet. It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's all these different systems coalescing in your body to adjust to keep you in homeostasis. And I'm going to explain what that means. It means this: the human body cannot survive perpetual weight gain. So if you overeat, your metabolism, whether you're overeating on healthy food or junk food, your metabolism has to speed up your metabolic rate, your expenditure. Otherwise, you would die. And it does so very effectively. It will actually speed up. You'll gain weight in the process, but it will speed up over time. Otherwise, you would die. Now, much more commonly, what we experience is the opposite direction. We want to lose weight, so we eat less. Guess what? The human body cannot survive in a state of perpetual weight loss.
Wow.
Therefore, right? You know where I'm going with this. What is the job of the metabolism?
Keep you alive. Homeostasis.
Keep you alive.
Yeah.
Has to slow down. Yeah, but I take green tea extract and this thermogenic and I do 300 jump ropes a day and I do all this thing that my favorite influencer says. Yeah? Are you still alive? then your metabolism slowed down. That's the way it works. It has to. The medical community, the fitness community, they acknowledge that your metabolic rate fluctuates. But in general, as of yet, mainstream doesn't give it enough respect. They're not respecting it enough. They're not recognizing the degree of influence it plays in our ongoing process. For example, what you have is the general, your height, weight, your gender, your muscle mass. Here's how active you are. This is your BMI. This is how many calories your body burns. And so if you reduce it by 350 calories a day, you should lose X amount of pounds a week. And we'll go, okay, yeah, we nod our heads. Every single person on the planet knows that doesn't work. You got 50 pounds to lose. You do that. You think you're going to lose 50 pounds? No, you're going to lose not 1 pound. You're going to lose like 3 pounds the first week, 2 pounds the second week, 2 pounds the third week, 1 pound the fourth week. Then you're going to plateau. Everybody knows it because you've all done it. I've done it. Every single human has experienced that process. That is experiencing in real time the metabolism doing its job. It's working.
Keeping you alive, because if you keep on this path, your body's going, nothing good happens here. You're going to starve yourself.
That's right. Have you ever seen someone? It's like, well, I used to eat 3,000 calories a day. I dropped down to 2,600 calories a day. And that's how I landed myself in the hospital on IVs because I was going to lose too much weight. Body doesn't let you do that. It just acclimates. More people would say it just laughs at them.
Yeah.
It's stubborn. It just laughs at them and go, here's the deal. We can speed it up, though. We know that it has to speed up in response to increased fuel. So what would happen if we actually tracked it and said, okay, we want to lose 30 pounds. You are currently eating, I'm just using calories. Calories isn't the end all be all. I'm just using this as a simple illustration. You're eating 2,300 calories a day on average. You want to lose 30 pounds. You probably aren't going to get 30 pounds off in one shot. Say we drop you down to 1,600, a female, whatever, 1,700 calories a day. I'm probably going to get between 12 and 15 pounds off of you. And then your metabolism is going to go, okay, I get it. We can hold here even on 1,700 calories. So what most people do is then enter yo-yo dieting, enter extreme tactics. And this is what sets off that, the credit card scenario. It's the buy now, pay later with interest approach to losing weight. Well, you know what? I'm just going to do these green shakes, or I'm just going to not eat for 2/3 of my day. And yes, you will lose more weight. Guess what your metabolism is going to do? It's going to go, oh, that's my new norm. Now you eat one potato chip more than that.
Bam.
And that is, bam. So what should happen is we go, hey, we're going to take 12, 15 pounds. We're going to preemptively stop your weight loss. We're going to do a brief revving cycle, make sure your metabolism is good and check. We're going to do that for 2 or 3 weeks. Now your metabolic rate is happy. We're running good. We just repeat the process. Now we take off the next 10, 12 pounds.
And you're not revving it, by the way, with, all of a sudden I'm not doing potato chips for the next 5 days. You're revving it with clean food still.
Yeah. Well, the reality is it will rev with potato chips too.
Sure.
I just want to be honest about the science. I wish it was if you just did it with brown rice and, sweet potatoes. Yeah. It will rev with potato chips and ice cream. But while it revs, you're going to store body fat. So I want it to rev with minuscule body fat. If any gain, I want it to be exclusively muscle, and that's the whole fitness side of things. So if we pair a revving cycle with increased type 2 muscle fiber stimulation, most clients, and I'm gonna give a secret away here. You ready for the secret? You haven't heard this before. You've been with us, I don't know how many years, Joe.
No, right. Quite a while.
So revving cycles, we tell our clients, the average revving cycle you can expect to gain between 1.5 and 2.5 pounds, not of fat, of muscle. But that's going to enable us to then lose the next 5, 10, 15, whatever the case may be, pounds of fat. That's what we tell people. But approximately 30% of people actually lose weight on the revving cycle. Now, we never say that, so don't tell anyone.
Yeah, right.
Balance of probability is you will gain between 1.5 and 2.5 pounds of muscle if you're doing it right during a revving cycle. But almost 1 out of 3 people end their revving cycle lighter than they began because the metabolism is so adaptive. If you increase gradually and in step with increased physical activity, oftentimes your metabolic rate can be, going back to your first question, reconditioned, challenged enough to where it'll actually outpace those increases. That's where the magic happens. But regardless, you're going to revitalize your metabolism, and then we increase slowly, but then we're going to cut fast. Because weight loss and fat loss is not a function of eating avocados or olive oil or a special ingredient or taking cayenne pepper. Weight loss is not a function of a magic caloric intake or getting your carbohydrates low enough. It is none of those things. Weight loss is simply what happens in the time interval between changing your diet from one intake threshold that your metabolism is maintaining you in homeostasis to a lower intake. That's how it actually works.
You know what I like about the planning too during the rev cycle is that with your emphasis on gaining 1 to 2 pounds, even though that often doesn't happen, you know, my plan predicts that. So if it happens as somebody going through this, I'm expecting that.
Right.
You know, I always like planning conservatively. And then if things go better than that, fantastic. But too often we have financial plans or weight, in the weight industry, it's like, oh, I'm going to lose 10 pounds the next 2 weeks. Well, how's that going to work out? When you fail at that, you're so dead to it, then you go right back to the donut because you're like, I can't do it. When you truly can, you just, I think, planned a little too optimistically.
Real life scenario. I had a gal call me up. She's just turned 40. Okay. So this happened about 3 days ago. She just turned 40. Her husband's taken her on a fairly, a really neat vacation they're going to go on for their anniversary. She said, the problem is in the last 5 weeks, I've gained 10 pounds. And I know this gal pretty well, and she doesn't fluctuate that much, that fast. And I said, that was precipitated by something. That didn't just randomly happen. She goes, no, I did, I did caloric restriction and intermittent fasting. She goes, and I lost about 6 pounds doing that. But as soon as I stopped, I gained 10. So here is the mathematical investment calculation that someone has to make. It is critical that you know where your metabolic rate is currently in order to decide whether or not you have enough to make the investment, right? Enough capital to invest in something. Because here's the deal. You can do any strategy. It's not some mystery. We've cracked the code. Medical science has figured out the diet that results in the most weight loss. It is water. That's the diet. There's no mystery here.
Eat
right?
nothing.
Eat nothing, you lose weight. There's an asterisk in the side effects to eating nothing. Apparently you die if you eat nothing, but details. There is always a gimmick and a way to force your weight down. And if you want to do a gimmick, I'm not even going to say you can't do a gimmick to lose a few fast pounds. Here's my question to you. Will you, because after you're done doing that, you're going to gain 3 to 5 pounds. Will you lose more than that with the gimmick?
I got to ask too, then, did you just, with that last answer, did you tell me how you feel about and you mentioned this briefly in passing, a lot of discussion lately with the new administration coming in and a lot of talk about Ozempic, right? About these drugs. Did you just tell me kind of how you feel about those drugs in your last answer? Or how do you feel about things like Ozempic?
I don't think I've been on a podcast this year without being asked about that. Everybody wants to know opinion. And, my opinion might actually surprise. I'm not opposed to it. And I have even seen it really be a great tool, but people don't understand what it is. I'll tell you what I don't like about it. I don't like the marketing because it's Hollywood. It's fantasy. Here's the reality. It's a medication, right? And by the way, it's not the first medication for weight loss. There's lots of medications out there. There's other medications. Some I think have good effects. Some I don't like at all. This is an appetite suppressant. So here's a medication that the side effect they found, results in a desirable effect. I think, my wife and I were just watching Jim Gaffigan bit where he talks about.
Oh, I saw this.
A side effect of a blood pressure. We don't care about the blood pressure. Does what to you?
I know. What does he say? He's like, yeah, I'd lose weight the American way. I just got a shot in my stomach. That's all I did.
but he made a good point. He's like, I'm not training for the Olympics. I want whatever's going to work. So I am not opposed to it. What I'm opposed to is doing something that you don't understand what it's actually doing. So here's how the marketing makes it sound. This pill makes your body burn fat. That is nonsense. That's not how it works. That doesn't mean this pill isn't necessarily great. If you take this shot and change nothing, you're going to change nothing. I know, because I have lots of clients that have taken it, lots of clients not taking it, and compared, going on and off at this point. So, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I don't research in the labs, but I can tell you in the trenches what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is the people who have the greatest side effect from it, which is slow digestive emptying and low-grade nausea at first. It is a highly potent appetite suppressant. Therefore, if you eat less calories, you're going to lose weight. And I have some clients where that is the deal. They just really struggle, with managing their appetite at night. The appetite monster comes out. I'm putting myself in that category. I've dealt with that. It is a real thing, but understand what it's doing. It is not and never will be a replace for fitness and behaviors. You still have to have the right strategy. But what it is doing is it's helping some people get off the ground where they're raising their hand going, maybe I will try the gym. Then now it's turning into a great thing.
Can I tell you, I went to a respected physician in town and I asked him the same question. I happened to be at an event that he was at. And I said, what's all this deal about these drugs, these things? And he pointed exactly to what you said. If you pay attention to what you're doing, look at my portion size, look at the good foods, look at how this even works when I still compare when I used to go to the gym and I go to the gym now, so do all the things plus, and I learn from it, then maybe it's good. He said, the problem is though, the second you stop doing it, if you're still on I used potato chips earlier, use pizza. If you're still on the pizza potato chip diet and you go right back to that, nothing changed.
We've seen this story before.
Yeah.
We've seen this.
Yeah.
I know how the story ends. Yeah.
But you have to go into that with almost like what you and I were talking about with your metabolism, where the heart of a scientist, you're a guinea pig and you're really focused on what are the inputs, what are the outputs that I'm looking for. And it's really fascinating. Angelo, if only there were a company that could help people work on this stuff. If only that existed. Tell me that'd be a dream come true.
I've never heard of it. I don't know if that exists. What are we going to do? And that's it, folks.
See you later.
I joke about it, but the truth is, if you got a story, we want to hear it. Come tell us, talk to us, and just say, hey, here's my challenge. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to be. Here's what I've tried. Let us share with you what our experience. We've worked with thousands of people. Let us tell you what others have tried in your circumstance and what we found to be the most effective. And it's different for each person. So if you go to metpro.co/SB for Stacking Benjamins, metpro.co/SB, we'd be happy to do a free session with you, free consultation.
I not only went through that free session, I've had a MetPro coach for a long time. I got to tell you, the best part for me, guys, is that on my busy schedule, even when I mess up the dieting, the consistency of a mindful approach and, frankly, and this is the thing that we didn't even talk about today, Angelo, the energy that I have when I need it.
Nice.
Like working with Jesse on, I've got this event in 2 weeks. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to plan for that event. We're going to rev the metabolism at the times. We're going to make sure that you get on that stage with a bunch of energy, like having, and everybody has important meetings in their life that I need to be present for. I've got these times that I really need to focus. Like we didn't get into any of that, but between the weight loss, the mindfulness, just absolutely fabulous. So guys, I can't recommend that you at least have them take a look at your metabolism once. Take advantage of the free sessions, metpro.co/SB. And man, this is a tough week for a lot of people, Angelo, you and me included, brother.
Yep.
So a lot of football coming up and I like watching it all.
Me too.
Yeah. So a lot of sitting on my butt, but thank you so much for mentoring us on this year end. And we will talk to you again here in the near future as we get ready for summer next. Let's have you get everybody ready for summer.
Let's do it. Thanks a million, Joe.
Hey there, stackers. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and this holiday season, I think it's important to remember what really matters. Making sure I win the ugly sweater contest here in the basement. I've already seen OG's sweater, and I'm fairly certain that Mariah Carey with a line through her face violates the rules set forth by the competition committee. And Joe's just wearing that same sweater he wears every year that makes him look like a middle-aged librarian, which is, it's actually kind of sexy if you're into librarians. And who isn't? But Joe's mom, there's the outlier. She's been cagey about what she's wearing this year. One thing I won't be cagey about is today's trivia. 2 nights from now, in what may be the most supernatural event every year, a guy in a red suit's gonna pull on some black boots and somehow deliver presents all around the world. It's pretty amazing. And he's been doing it for a long, long time. While a sleigh and 9 reindeer can do this every year, it actually took the rest of us until today's date back in 1986 to fly an aircraft all the way around the world without stopping. Dick Rattan and Jenna Yeager piloted a craft that would take off on December 14th and took how long to pull off the feat that Santa accomplishes in one short night? I'll be back right after I go figure out how to fly a kite. When I asked OG about why he's always hating on Mariah Carey, he told me to go fly a kite. So I got to start practicing.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada?
Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/listen and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/listen.
Did you know Fast Growing Trees is America's largest and most trusted online nursery with thousands of trees and plants and over 2 million happy customers? Whether you're planting fruit trees, adding privacy, brightening things up with flowers, or bringing in houseplants, Fast Growing Trees has it all. Even better, they can help you find options that are right for your climate, your space, and lifestyle. Click Order Grow. Every plant arrives healthy with the Alive and Thrive guarantee straight to your door. So if you're ready to get planting, this is the moment. Right now, they have great deals on spring planting essentials, up to half off on select plants. And listeners to our show get 20% off their first purchase when using the code WWO at checkout. That's an additional 20% off. Better plants and better growing at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code WWO at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code WWO. Now's the perfect time to plant. Let's grow together. Use WWO to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. Go to growingfasttrees.com for details.
Hey there, math wizards. I'm model plane builder and that guy who knows how to rock both armrests on a flight, Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug.
I hate that guy.
Well,
I sit next to that guy every flight. Oh, I'm going to take both armrests.
maybe you should stop man-spreading onto the other guy.
If you're in the middle seat, you're supposed to take both armrests. That's the trade.
Yeah, I know, but I don't only limit myself to being in the middle seat to do that. I paid for that seat. I'm using the whole seat.
You can have the whole seat.
Left, center, or right.
No, middle seat gets both armrests. If you're on either side, you get one.
But is he supposed to reach over and hold my hand?
Well, you're not supposed to sit in the part where there's 3 freaking seats, and then you don't have to worry about it. When there's 2, there's plenty of armrests for everybody.
Sit with the commoners. That's the whole problem.
In steerage. Below the waterline.
All right, Jeeves, continue the trivia. Sorry that we interjected.
Yeah, let me get back to this. Jenna Yeager and Dick Rattan became the first to fly a plane around the world on today's date in 1986. We still haven't figured out how Santa does it in one day, but this definitely closed the gap. The pilots originally decided to fight fatigue by swapping piloting duties every 3 hours. But because of weather concerns and pitch instability, Dick Rattan ended up piloting the plane for the first 3 days of the journey before taking a break. But today's question was this: how many days did it take them? If you said 9, congratulations on passing 3rd grade math. If you said 8 or some other number, have a friend give you a firm participation slap on the back and maybe learn how to add. Add a girl or boy. Anyway, congratulations. And now back to the guys piloting this podcast, Joe and OG.
As we're listening to Doug read the trivia, I realized that in our writing meeting, we gave you the answer.
Took off on the 14th, and today, let me see, today is the 23rd. How many fingers do I have on my hand?
All right, story problem, people. Yeah, nice job.
If 2 Santas took off from Baltimore and Sacramento.
So good. Last trivia of the year. Hey, we want to make sure all our stackers end the year on a high note, right? You end the year feeling confident, feeling good about yourself. And man, between that and Angelo Poli bringing it as usual, just, focus on the long term this week. Have some fun. I love Angelo talking about have some fun, but just realize you don't want to show up and go, uh-oh, almost like, we talk about with credit cards, really the same thing.
I think it's super important if you're going to go into the new year and you want to lose weight, to start at the highest weight possible. That way, when you lose weight, you have a big loss right away and you feel good. It's like momentum. It's like the snowball effect, but with your body.
I think this is the 3rd time he's brought this strategy up, Joe. I think he's really packing on the LBs here.
Just trying to sell it to us. Yeah, we don't want Angelo. You've seen Angelo. You don't want him coming back down. Oh, gee. We could probably, just as long as he's still here, maybe just go, yeah, that's good. That's good, Angelo.
Just pretend. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's fantastic.
I mean, he is the health expert. Okay, fine.
Let's pivot to our headline.
Hello, darlings. And now it's time for your favorite part of the show, our Stacking Benjamin's headlines.
Our headline comes to us from the Wall Street Journal. I think, Doug, you actually brought this one to my attention.
Probably.
This is written by Ashley Ebeling. Turns out, OG, that your will can't be a selfie video. Listen to this. Jesse Beck had no will except for a selfie video he recorded 4 days before getting struck by a car and killed. If anything happens to me whatsoever, I give all my possessions, everything to Jason Beck, my brother, the 45-year-old heavy machine operator said on the camera. The recording didn't hold up in court. The Montana Supreme Court ruled in October the video, quote, while undoubtedly expressing testamentary intent, didn't count as a will. While most of the business of life has gone digital, state law remains rooted to ink on paper. Americans who try to phone in or record their estate plans don't realize that video and audio recordings don't qualify. The number of ways, OG, people try to do shortcuts around their will, their estate planning. We saw Aretha Franklin with several handwritten wills that she did in her last days.
Which counted. One of those counted. As scrawled as it was, how is it that a napkin found underneath a sofa cushion is more legal, that what didn't have a raised embossed stamp on it from some notary, that's more legal than your actual face and your actual voice and mouth moving saying, this is what I want. That's what I think is so hard for us civilians to understand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Doug, on this one. I don't understand why it wouldn't. I mean, it seems to me that from a fraud standpoint, we're not there yet. We're getting there, but it seems like it's a lot harder to replicate somebody's face and voice and all that sort of stuff. And, with all the tech on your phone, it's Apple knows when the hell you made that video. There's some sort of stamp somewhere and some sort of coding that would be like, this is what it is. This sounds like a great use case for blockchain stuff, right? I'm not very familiar with it.
Sure.
But a way to simplify this process so that the universe knows that it's legitimate. It's the thing that it's the most recent thing that I wanted to do. And not to cut out the middlemen, because obviously you need to have lawyers and counsel for the legal aspects of it and making sure that, you're doing it right. But in something simple, I don't know the rest of this guy's story. If he's single and he's, who fought with him on the will? What was the...
Well, here's the deal. There is a wrongful death claim because he got hit by a truck, and it's of up to $750,000. Here's the deal. If the video goes through, it all goes to his brother. If it doesn't go through, it goes to his daughter, according to state law.
Well, okay, yeah, that makes more sense to me now. It's like every state has kind of their order of operations if you don't do anything. Like people say, well, I don't have an estate plan yet. Well, you do have an estate plan. Whatever state you live in has a order of operations. And it's generally something like if you're married, it's your spouse. If you're unmarried, it's your kids. And, and then kind of follows that train, kids, grandkids, great grandkids, so on and so forth. If you don't have any kids, then it goes backwards to parents, and then from parents to siblings. And then, there's some sort of aunts and uncles kind of along that way. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense that that's kind of the default scenario. And I'm guessing that's probably the case of the daughter, or the legal representation of the daughter is like, well, hold on a second. We haven't allowed video in our state constitution yet of being allowed. So that means that he doesn't have one. And if he doesn't have one, then it goes to the daughter.
Yeah. And this is the thing. It isn't just about audio or video. Some states still don't even allow an electronic will, don't allow an online will. A lot of states do.
DocuSign is such a pain in the butt.
Not every single state does. Yeah. This piece says a paper will drafted by a lawyer and signed by you with a, quote, wet signature, witnessed and notarized, is still the gold standard. And then I love this quote from Charles Borick, general counsel at Free Will, an online will provider. So he definitely has an axe to grind. He wants this stuff to be online. He says, it's a fool's errand to tenaciously claim that everything has to be on paper. This isn't the time of Charles Dickens.
Wow.
So good. I don't disagree with him, though. I don't disagree. It has to be on paper, really?
Yeah. Again, it sounds like a great use case for, more and more digital stuff. I out of curiosity, where are you guys at on digital payments? And what I mean by that is using your phone to pay instead of getting out your credit card and swiping it. You go to the gas station, you go to the grocery store. Are you guys take your watch and pay? Do you take your phone, or do you dig in your wallet, grab your credit card out? Like where are the two of you at on this?
I think I've used my phone to pay maybe twice, and that could be stretching it.
Cheryl uses Apple Pay. I take out my credit card, but I do get peeved if the little tap thing doesn't work now.
So you take your card out and tap to pay with your card?
With my card. So I'm like halfway there.
You don't have your card on your phone. Yeah. It's funny because it's obviously generational, right? It's like the wave is moving backward.
Right.
And I'm much more comfortable with it than I was 5 years ago. Also, it's much more prevalent. There's that.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see, as you guys get there too. But my wife doesn't. She's like, and she's got all the cards on her phone. But when you travel, this is kind of an interesting thing. So you have all this stuff on your phone, right? You got my Citibank American Airlines card on my phone. But when I go to the American Airlines lounge to get in, they need the card. And I go, oh, it's on my phone. They go, we don't take that. I go, well, how the hell do you think I got it on my phone? Because I can't put Doug's credit card on my phone. Like it doesn't, I can take Doug's credit card out of his wallet and go use it. But I can't, you know what I mean? Like it's just some sort of processing thing of the unknown makes it less secure, maybe. And that's what people think. But in reality, I mean, let me be clear. I'm not a tech guy. So I guess there's probably a way for me to take Doug's credit card and put it on my phone. I'm sure there's some sort of hack to do that. But it's a lot harder for a commoner to do that than it would be for me to swipe your wallet and be like, hey, I'm Doug, get me in the lounge. So why we don't use digital stuff more, I think it's just a fear of the unknown, maybe. Or since in the legal world, it hasn't been tried yet. I think that's probably it. There hasn't been a precedent
there's no legal precedent
to make it.
Mom, it took me forever to convince her after my dad died that writing checks is a bad idea. Like we had to get her an online high yield savings account was just the worst. She's like, I don't want my account online. That is so not secure. I'm like, Mom, that's way more secure.
It's like, online already. You're just the only one that doesn't have access to it.
Right. Yeah, I know with helping to take over my mom's sort of day-to-day finances, setting up automatic bill payment was an enormous, still is, a mental leap, a challenge, because she doesn't think her bills are getting paid because she's not actually the one writing the check. And we're pretty far afield now from the article that we started talking about.
But this piece really is about, though, advancements in technology, right? And in this case, maybe states not keeping up with that.
Yeah. That part's true. And it's what's inertia and what is habit. Back to your point, OG, about are we pulling out our phone to pay for things, which frankly, most of the world does. I mean, most of the continent of Africa pays for their stuff.
But the age discrepancies, the age differences are profound. Average age in Africa is decades before North America.
Yeah, there's some other things at play there, but in any case, there's a lot of inertia around the structure, the legal structure that got built up from the 1800s until 1998.
Sure. Established banking you're talking about.
Right. The whole situation about, like, if I need to pay you guys and I want to ACH you a check from my bank account to your bank account, there is no way for you to get that money inside of a day or two. Despite the fact that it's like just pressing a button, right? Yet I can literally hold my phone up to your phone and give you $100 of my Apple Pay account to your Apple Pay account. I can Venmo you cash like that.
Let's demonstrate that.
All right.
I can go to the grocery store and I can swipe my American Express card, and Amex knows instantaneously whether or not I'm good for it, right? Like they have, if you have a credit limit or whatever the case may be. Yet the banking system, to your point, Doug, refuses to allow that stretch. And I wonder, I've always been a little, glass half. I'm just glass half. That's all I am. Like, it's just half. It's neither half full nor half empty. It is just half. But there's so much banking fees that go on with overdraft and transfers and, those sorts of things. I just wonder if if the banking lobby is hanging on to so much of that because, it's so cash flow positive to just go, it takes us 2 days to transfer that. Sorry. You're like, well, no, I got a check clearing tomorrow and my mortgage, they're like, yeah, it's going to take, we'll cover it.
And I hate to be that cynical about this video will, but is it possible that part of the resistance to allowing that is cutting out the middleman and all the revenue associated with all of those parties in between?
There's actually, as you read down into this piece, because, initially when I read it, it sounded like the brother being a little greedy. Hey, why don't you make a video about this? And the guy's going to cut his daughter out. That doesn't seem to be it at all. As you read further down, Jesse says in this video that he does not want his ex-girlfriend, Christina Fontenot, to get anything. And he's very clear about that. So ostensibly, when you read between the lines, well, and I was laughing too, Doc. I'm like, wow,
well,
they call it out.
Yeah, they named her.
But I would bet, I don't know this, and the piece doesn't say it, but I would bet that this daughter is a daughter of hers and his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because of it,
and
what
a minor,
he's afraid
probably.
of. Yeah. He's not afraid of his daughter. He's afraid of ex-girlfriend getting hands on the money. Because also they went into a bank. Jesse and his brother Jason not only did this video, he also went into a bank, and in the bank became financial power of attorney for the accounts at the bank. And Jason said, we're not lawyers. We thought we could do this. And we thought that I would take care of everything. So he wanted to make sure his brother, who he trusted, would take care of his daughter, not the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. I mean, there's protections there. The good news here, generally speaking, is that, if the girlfriend is not the wife, then in some circumstances, a court system would allow the girlfriend to be in charge of the daughter's money. But a lot of times they're going to put a court-appointed person in charge of the daughter's money. That doesn't mean that they're going to do it the way you wanted to do it. That doesn't mean that they're going to invest in the manner that you would prefer them to invest, and that the girlfriend can't figure out a way to circumvent that or create a narrative that benefits them a little bit. But this is why I think almost at any level of financial status, you need to have some sort of estate plan done professionally. And professionally doesn't mean you have to go spend $5,000 and go into the biggest law firm in town. There are tools online that will qualify for having this done. But the more layers of complexity you have, second marriages, young children, charitable intent, different types of accounts in different places. God forbid you have property in different places. the more complex that gets, the more you want to really strongly consider having a pro review all this stuff, because you can set this up one time, generally speaking, have some updates as your life changes, but set it up one time and make sure that all of these problems go away. There is no girlfriend gets in charge of the money. There is no daughter gets it all when she turns 18, and I'd rather it be invested instead of it sitting in cash, and the court system's in charge instead of the person I trust. Like, you can navigate all of that in advance. You just have to invest a little bit of time and energy. And the other piece that I would say about this is Warren Buffett just had his thing a couple of weeks ago where he gives away his money to his kids foundation. Probably caught that in the news, and whatever it was, several $1 billion. One of the things he commented on at the time was, before you finalize your will, the best thing you can do if you have adult children is have them go through it with you. And for some reason in our country, or in our, kind of like, it's such a secret of like, Grandpa died, let's read the will and see what happened. And it's like, why do we have to figure it out on the fly? Hey, Dad, you don't want to do it that way because this is I'm good. You should, you know what I mean? Like, have that discussion while everybody's of reasonable mind. You don't even have to give dollar amounts. You can just say, here's what I'm thinking, and let your kids talk about it so they know what the plan is. If they're adults, right?
I think the big point here is, OG, what you're talking about is just a little bit of insurance. I mean, it would have cost him a few dollars, might have cost him several dollars. There might've been a comma in the number, right? But that's just insurance to get that done one time, just one time.
Yeah, regardless of how much it costs, it's always hindsight's 2020, right? I'm sure his brother wishes they would have walked into a law firm instead of a bank to do it.
Boy,
it's just,
yeah. Doug, a great piece, and we'll link to it in our show notes. It's DuckyBenjamins.com. By the way, normally Wall Street Journal behind a paywall. This one was so big, I found it also on MSN.com for free. So we will link to the MSN piece for everybody that doesn't have a Wall Street Journal subscription. Time for us to answer a call from a stacker who said, you know what? I better call Saul. C-Hi and OG. We love helping our stacker community do better with their money. And it's funny, I was previewing this guy's voice sounds really familiar. I don't know if you guys can place it, but well, let's listen.
Oh, hello, Joe and OG. This is Santa Nick calling from the North Pole, Alaska. I have to say, I travel around the world once a year and love catching up on the show. It's a jolly good time, even though I don't learn a thing. Here's my question. I've got terrible budget problems. Several years ago, I told the missus that I'd give presents to a bunch of kids I don't know. Pay it forward, she said. You'll become a legend. That sort of thing. Well, I have to say it's gotten out of hand. Every stinking year I load up my pickup with all of these toys. It used to be trucks, trains, and Barbies. But now they want iPads, Xboxes, and $1,000 phones. I mean, I give these ankle biters everything they ask for, and they always just come back asking for more. I know what you're going to say, OG, and before you say it, I've already tried to cut my costs. We had the great idea of stuffing things in socks to limit the amounts, but before you know it, that just became an add-on. And now, these rascals all expect a sock full of junk and their silly presents. Oh, greedy little. And all for what? All I get in return is a few Christmas cookies, and now they're all gluten-free. Where's the fun in that? Between us, I've even gone so far as to hire a bunch of undocumented workers. They're out in my workshop behind the house, making knockoff purses and jewelry as we speak. I wouldn't be surprised if the feds knock on my door tomorrow and shut us down. And if that weren't a big enough problem, we use deer in our delivery system. And the animal rights people are breathing down my neck. I really, truly don't know what to do anymore. So here's what I need to know. How do I cut when there's nothing left to trim? What would you do if you were me? Thanks, guys.
Nick, thank you so much for the call. He sounds familiar, OG.
Couldn't place him.
No idea. But when you feel like there's nothing to cut, what do you do?
I think I'm somewhat motivated by the turn of events in college athletics. And maybe, if he's kind of popular, maybe a name, image, likeness type of revenue system might help. If you can't cut anymore, you got to increase the top line, right? So maybe there's an opportunity to maybe do some branding. Sounds pretty popular in his niche. So there could be some sort of like NIL deal, get some cash coming in.
Deal. Goes in the portal.
What about setting up like a GoFundMe sort of thing for Nick?
The problem with that is that'll solve at one time. I do like the idea though of increasing income. I just remember when I was a planner, there were some people that were great at cutting expenses. Like it sounds like Nick has done a great job there, but they really needed to just grow the top line. I remember some meetings, I just come back and go, this feels like an income problem to me. Let's talk about opportunities to make more money. Talk to your boss, get a side hustle, do something to bring some more money in the front door.
Yeah. Side hustle would be another one. Do some like pre-season type activities, maybe out with the community. You like go to like those, like meet and greets for like baseball stars and they sign autographs and that sort of thing.
Right.
I mean, that sort of like take pictures. People will line up. I mean, if he's a popular guy to, probably pay
and that
$20
guy,
a picture.
he sounds happy all the time, right? So he could probably work kids' birthday parties during the year.
Yeah, that's basically the NIL type thing. You can license people that are like him, and then also in the preseason, like go out and meet and greets, and like Derek Jeter comes to your kid's school, he's getting paid, right? I mean, like he doesn't go for free.
Go to places where there's a bunch of people already going there, like those malls. Like I know they're dying, but he could go hang out at a mall.
Yes, a mall, a country club where there's rich people.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Nick. If you've got a call like Nick, send them our way. StackyBenjamins.com/voicemail is exactly how you get a hold of us and ask your question now in 2025. Just a couple things here before we say goodbye. We've got a great week of shows coming up. Our top mentors from even numbered years. So 2024 coming to an end. So we have a favorite one from this year, then from 2022, 2020, 2018. Paul Merriman's been in the news a lot lately in the financial geek world. So we're going to run our interview with him from a couple of years ago. Yale professor Zoe Chance.
So good.
Had a fantastic discussion with us. We're going to play that for you, for everybody that missed it. James Reed this year talked about really what's this all about. That was a really, really phenomenal discussion with James earlier this year. Those three, and tomorrow we are going to kick off this whole thing with our telling of Doug and the Three Ghosts, a tale as old as time, as they say, which is
that was a rough night for me, man.
Which is going to be a good time tomorrow to kick all this off. So
half a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue will do that to you, buddy.
That was a tough one.
It's great. It's great. It's great. And it gets bad. It's
and it's gone.
Yeah.
Enjoy the next week of those while you're enjoying your holiday season, Stackers. So thankful and grateful for all of you in 2024. We've got a lot of stuff happening in 2025. The book club happening. I'll be going to Seattle. A lot of stuff. But if you need help in 2025 with your money, OG and his team are taking clients. So head to StackyBenjamins.com/OG. There's a gift right there. The gift of the Prince of Darkness and his team on your
ouch. Wow.
on your team.
I bet he's happier when people
he is happier. It was so funny when we were in New York City, Doug. OG was like, let's get this over with. And then the lights came on and and all of a sudden we're on stage and he was fantastic. Even Paula was like, who is this guy? Like, what's going on?
So I've noticed a pattern, like way back years ago when we were on the book tour and OG and I are hanging out with you in Austin and Houston and, in the Chicago area. As soon as he got around people other than you and I, he was awesome.
It all changed. Yes.
Wonder what
Tell me more about this.
The pattern is there.
StackyBenjamins.com/OG gets on his calendar. All right, everyone. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. That's all coming up. Doug, what should we have learned on this episode that kicks off maybe my favorite week of the year?
Well, Joe, here's what's stacked up on our to-do list for today. First, to help you follow advice from Angelo Poli, just remember this rhyme from the lamest rap song of all time. Take a vacation from inebriation. The name of the game is celebration and moderation. I guess that's what happens when Pat Boone puts out a rap album. But Angelo's right. You feel better and enjoy the holiday without regret. Second, looking to complete your estate plan? Probably not a great idea to make a selfie video, although I do look great on camera. But the big lesson? Joe's mom just showed me her ugly holiday sweater for the contest tonight. My face is not ugly, Ma. Well, at least there's not a line across my dreamy blue eyes. Hey, not for nothing, we're going to get one of those in large. Thanks to Angelo Poli for joining us today. For details on Angelo's company, MetPro, and how they can help you lose weight or get in shape, heck, maybe even both, visit metpro.co/SB. We'll also include links in our show notes at stackingbenjamins.com. Happy holidays, everybody! This show is the property of SB Podcasts, LLC, copyright 2024, and is created by Joe Saul-Sehy. Joe gets help from a few of our neighborhood friends. You'll find out about our awesome team at stackingbenjamins.com, along with the show notes and how you can find us on YouTube and all the usual social media spots. Come say hello. Oh yeah, and before I go, not only should you not take advice from these nerds, don't take advice from people you don't know. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, speak with a real financial advisor. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and we'll see you next time back here at the Stacking Benjamin Show.
We are looking at how to pronounce the name of this American businessman and chef who gave his name to a famous brand of food products. How do you say it? Tony Chachere. Chachere. You don't want to stress on the first syllable, and yes, it's a sa sound, not a ch sound. Chachere. So Tony Chachere's. Pretty straightforward once you know Tony Chachere's.